Welcome everyone in this new video tutorial about the multiplayer combat editor. In this video we're going to view how to implement a state machine for our character using the action manager. So we're going to open up our third-person character blueprint and I'm going to show you the setup I made for our action manager. So I'm adding 3 actions: move, primary skill, secondary skill, and I set them up in a way that move prevents both skills from being used, and both skills are preventing every other actions from being used. And they will also cancel move. Actually, when I use my primary skill, it will stop my move action if I'm currently moving. And I give them their name and their input shortcut string name. And then we also have the action overlay, and we also have the left mouse button, which is triggering the primary skill action. But this simple setup is not quite well. I mean, if we hit play, if I hit left mouse button, we can see on the top left screen, on the top left corner of the screen, we can see the action spear attack. It's remaining as long as I'm holding my left mouse button, but it's not the correct behavior. The correct behavior will be the spear attack remains here as long as I'm actually taking the action. And that's what we want to attain as a result. So the first thing we need to do is to actually check what's happening if we remove the end action there, because skills automatically communicate with the action manager to tell them when they finished their action. And in our case, it's not happening, but that's just because we forgot to add something to our skill. So we'll do this right away. Back to our third-person character, we will go to our skill initialization, and when we spawn our spear attack, we will hit the little glass icon and open up that spear attack. And then we will say that when we trigger the starting effect of the skill, we will also end by time or stop by time. We will stop the skill by time, waiting 0.5 seconds. And then we can see I'm spear attacking for 0.5 seconds. We will say, we will actually say 1 second. And maybe even 1.3 seconds. That's quite a lot of time. Alright. But it's actually not removing move from our list of current actions, and that's because we are not checking if I'm currently spear attacking before moving. So we'll do this. If we go back to our third-person character, when we are actually moving, when we press our inputs, we are moving, but we are not asking can we move. So we will just say can take action. And the action we want to ask for is move. Can we take action? If so, can we take the move action? If so, we will move. And we're going to duplicate that like this. Can we move? If so, we will move. And now, when you see spear attack, you do not see move anymore. And if we remove the root motion from my animation, I think it will automatically makes it so my character is... I'm actually just quickly going to tweak these blend times while I'm at it. and I want to check that animation, and I want to disable root motion on my animation. I like that. And it's actually behaving in a strange way, and that only comes from my animation. If you have an in-place animation like that, our character is starting to move again, whereas the animation is not over, and that's because the stop time is not long enough. We're just going to tweak that real quick. It's not really pleasing to play a character which has a 2 seconds cooldown, a 2 seconds freeze time, but that's just for debugging purposes. We'll see how to better tie the animation and the skill in other video tutorials. So for now, spear attack is properly cancelling move. And make it so I cannot move while I'm using spear attack. So that's how you can easily use the action manager system to create rules between your actions. Since I'm triggering that action, I cannot move anymore. But there is something else we need to check. In there, when I press the left mouse button, we're just starting skill. And excuse me, and actually we don't want that. We don't want to just say start skill and then start action, because maybe we weren't able to start the skill, for instance, if we do not have enough mana to trigger it. So we will use another event which is trigger skill event. And we want, when we press our left mouse button, we want to try to press start. And we want to branch it like this, and we want to play end to play stop when we release the input. And when we use that function, we do not need to call start and end action, because it's automatically called by the skill manager when it detects that the skill started and stopped. But you could see that I was able to trigger my left mouse button skill while I was already performing my first skill, whereas in my action rules I specified that my primary skill was preventing my primary skill, and that's because I did not check can I take action before triggering my skill. So we'll just do this before wrapping up the video. So if I'm asking can I use primary skill before triggering it, and I'll do this as well for the release. No, I won't be, well, actually I will be doing this for the release as well. That's a bit strange. You cannot end your skill if you cannot take the action, but I will be taking the action anyway, or else I wouldn't need to cancel the skill. Quite strange. But for a certain skill, you need to check. For instance, if you have a charge skill which triggers when you release your input, maybe you cannot trigger your skill when you release the input, so you have to check. So if I'm hitting play, so I can only use spear attack when I'm not moving, and that's because moving prevents primary and secondary skill, and we actually don't want that. So we want move to not prevent these actions. So I move, then I press my input and it's triggering spear attack, and then it's moving again. And I cannot spam my left mouse button to trigger spear attack several times in a row. And I wanted to add two other things to our state machine for our action manager and third person character. So if I'm hitting play, I can jump while spear attacking, and I don't want that. And also, if I die, I can still use my actions. So we'll do two simple things to disable that. So first off, we're going to add a new action to our list of actions in our third person character when we initialize our actions. So in there, this action is going to be jump, and I won't be able to secondary or primary skill while I jump, and jumping won't cancel anything, and I won't be able to jump when I'm using any of my skills like this. And then we're going to go in the place where Unreal coded their jump feature like that, and we're going to say that we're just going to ask, can we jump like that? Can we jump? B click to spawn the branch. Can we jump? If so, we will jump like this. And I forgot, we also have to say that we will start action, which is the jump action, like that. We'll hit play, and I forgot to set up something because I cannot trigger my skill while I'm jumping. But I can jump while I'm triggering my skills. So it should prevent the jump from triggering, and this as well. And I think I might know why it's doing this. It might be because our skill behavior is telling him to I need to check. So our skill has something called make behavior, which tells it what type of action our skills have the possibility to override the action properties we set up here, and I think that's what's happening right now. Yeah, the base values of our skill are not canceling, are not preventing the jump action. So we're just going to go into our spear attack skill, and we're going to click on override. We're going to drag and drop the little drop down menu. We're going to search for make behavior. We're going to click that. It's going to create a new function. Then we're going to go in our third person character. We're going to copy the information we used in our primary skill, and we're going to paste that here. Then we're going to remove make behavior. We're going to make action out of our return behavior, and then we're just going to plug them like this, and we're going to rewrite the information we wrote. So I shall improve how everything behaves. after the early access. So, and I think, yeah, and now I cannot jump while. So this should not happen. This behavior should not happen. We should not have to set something up in our skill in case we do not need to override that behavior. But at least we made it so we cannot jump while using the attack. And you can see I can use the attack after I reach the apex of my jump, and that's because the jump action lasts for as long as I did not reach the apex of the jump, the apex. And we have something else. I just wanted to fix something else, which is when I die, I don't want my character to be able to trigger its actions. And I will just decrease the health of my character just so it's easier to kill the other character and check if he can still use his action. Then I want to go to the death event, death ragdoll, and I want to say shut toggle inputs, maybe toggle inputs like this, and I want to say they are disabled. So I'm on the death event, on death. So when I die, I won't be able to use my buttons like I was able to before. So I cannot move. So the other character cannot move. Before I was able to. So that's fine. So it's going to wrap up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.